Alrighty, everybody, we are back in action here today with our third place competition, our battle for third here at the Nebraska Schools Esport Association's spring tournament state championship here, hosted by York College in York, Nebraska. Very excited to get things kicked off, and we're going to have these two players who both lost the first round, but now have an opportunity to compete for third and fourth place here. Let's give them a brief introduction. We have here in the upper left-hand corner, Altimative, player from Lexington. His name is Ben Ward, and he is a junior. So welcome to State. This is his first appearance at State, as we'll see that also appear down here in the lower right. We have Avid, who is our player from Kearney. And he is, it's also his first appearance here at State in Starcraft. So good luck to both of these players as we get things kicked off and the action will begin. So, to start things off, we'll see that Avid is going to be playing Protoss today. Or sorry, excuse me, Altimative will be playing Protoss, and Avid is going to be our Zerg player for today. So in the previous game, Avid was up against the Mighty Owl, who is another Zerg player, and it was an interesting showdown there, so we'll get to see what happens here as Altimative was up against the other Kearney player, and now we'll see if he can take on Kearney yet again and fight for third place here. Protoss versus Zerg in this matchup. We'll have the initial scout coming here through from Avid, of course. And it's going to be interesting to see what Protoss player is going to go. I believe he went Sky Toss the last couple of times, but we'll see if he keeps up with that or if he changes up his strategy just a little bit here. But for now, we'll just watch as both players get things set up. So making it to State, they had to go through a long regular season, and then on top of that, they had to at least get through a couple preliminaries before showing up here in person at York and playing for our semi quarterfinals and semi and finals matchup. So exciting things going down. We're ready to go, and we'll have Avid just kind of hanging out here with his Overlord and checking out what's going on. The first expansions for both teams is going down, and getting things going. Gonna get a Stalker out here just about immediately as a good deterrent. At least take out this Overlord and stop things from going down, but we will see a Templar Archive coming up. Wonder if that's gonna go into more of a High Templar build, or what exactly is gonna go down. There it is. We'll see the Overlord gonna get probably picked off here unless he's able to get out of range. I don't think he will in time though. And he will indeed fall. So at least he's going to know that Stalkers are coming through. He won't see anything though here on the back side of the bases. He didn't come through, and this was going up pretty late. Got a couple more gates coming through for the Protoss player, and so we'll switch now to see how it's going on the Zerg side. A couple Zerglings already out. He's going to be using these queens to try and get everything pushed through, and honestly, we're just going to see how quickly they can tech up. It is a 4-minute no aggro gentleman's clause, and so now that 4 minutes is up, we can see either side has the opportunity to go ahead and push in whenever they feel it is necessary. Gonna have an evolution chamber and a spine crawler going down here. We already have a spawn pool, of course. On this side, we have a baneling nest in the back. So we could be seeing banelings here coming up here at some point. Gonna have a couple queens, of course, each feeding into the layers, and then also trying to spread the creeps. He's really kind of limited himself right now. He's gonna start getting these creep tumors out and hopefully spreading that creep far and wide. Let's go back over here to the Protoss side. looks like we are going to be seeing a couple Templars coming in. And we'll see also the accelerator coming through on our research. So once the warp gate gets finished, we'll see that as well. We will have a forge going down, get some more upgrades coming through on top of that. So, you know, opportunities right now for both teams as they're just building up their forces, getting things ready to go, and we'll see how it goes. Take a look at the army values quickly, and, you know, just starting to build up quite a bit for Avid, of course, as he's just going to have a lot of Banelings coming through, and obviously now we're seeing the Mutalisks come in as on top of that, as the army itself is going to be quite a bit because we have Archons and High Templar over here on the side of Altimative, and I mean, it's a pretty expensive order, and he's going to be throwing down a couple more gateways. So even though the army for, you know, the army for Avid is large, and he is moving it up here to the right side of the base, and that's just because a lot of the effort put in by Altimative is literally into these High Templar, which might come back to bite him unless he's able to sniff this out, especially. That could come in on the backside and cause trouble. Here it comes. Moving in, and oh my goodness, he put in about 50 different warp gates, but that might not be quite enough. He's going to be taking out a lot of these probes in the back line. Here come the Archon, but what are they going to do? They're not going to be able to do too much, as these guys are just so much faster on the upswing. You know, sure, they can run around and do a lot, but Mutalisks are so quick, and Archons are just, you know, not as fast. So huge 23 probes lost in that skirmish. That is everything off of his main. That is a decent 2-4-ish here on his secondary, and that's going to be a lot being put into causing some trouble. He's going to be able to get a couple more Archons going down here, as once again, here come the Mutalisks. They're coming in. They're going to try and take out as many of these probes as possible. They are able to shut down the production that's going through here. Now, they're not going to find much more here in the main because they've already hit it. And now they're just actually going to... Oh, this is clever. He just looped the entire Archon army all around to the backside so that he could get more access to these probes. And it is going to be critical. Running the probes around, getting them off that line. Look at the economy right now. This economy hit is huge. Going from nearly 1,000 plus to, well, now down to 500. Critically shutting it down. There's going to be nothing left in the tank. Luckily, he has a good buildup of minerals, so hopefully he can start getting more probes back on the line. But, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be really tough. We also see that the army is still getting built back here on the side of Avid. Now, we got the Mutalisks coming in yet again, and they're going to hit a very critical part here. There are not enough pylons. And look at this. This pylon right here is holding up this entire factory sector. That's going to be absolutely critical. Once again, these Stalkers are going to do their best to try and defend, but he needs to put up more pylons. There need to be a lot more pylons to try and keep this all up and running. And then on top of that, he's got to try to get maybe a couple more Stalkers. A couple in the back, a couple over here, a couple over there. Anything he can. They were trying to work on this pylon. And now the Mutalisks might be in trouble. This might be the last that they can at least effectively make their way back into the base. But once again, he's done the damage. The economy is starting to recover, but it is heavily wrecked on that side. While we were looking at all that, we see the third expansion going down from Avid, as he is starting to run out a little bit here on his main, so he needs to be looking for a third, even a fourth expansion, honestly, here on the inside if he wanted to. Let's go quickly up here because we do have Mutalisks once again. They're here, and they are causing issues. Once again, only a single pylon holding. He's got the minerals. He should be able to spend that to shore up his power in the area. As of right now, he's not having time. He's even actually opting to destroy his own cybernetics core because he's noticing that he has to travel too far around his nexus here to get into the back. And so now we actually will see, this is clever. I like this. I like this a lot. He just put up an expansion. This is his third expansion, but he didn't go to any of his third naturals. He kind of went just a little deeper. That's going to help. It's going to keep that base hidden, allow an opportunity for him to build up his economy just a little bit better. He does have to be careful. These guys are flying around. Luckily, he didn't go here because he knows that they're kind of flying up that direction. But it's rough. It's very rough right now for Altimative. But he is sticking with it. He is staying true to figuring this out. He's getting his economy back in a positive situation. But once again, these are just taking a hit over and over again. He put way too many kind of in some bad positions, honestly. So now he's got to like permanently leave units up here to keep things protected. Now, we're going to see this army because this army has been building up in the backfield. You know, with all those Mutalisks up in the front lines, he's got Lurkers, he's got Hydra, he's got a lot of different things here. And he's just sent in these High Templar to kind of do some scouting, and they run into the whole army right off the back. So we're going to see now the main army for Avid is going to start moving in. There's only a couple of cannons here. They're not really going to be doing too much. But here comes the whole army. Now they're going to start funneling in one at a time. They did burrow for a little bit just to get a nice swarm around these photon cannons. Will the high Archons be able to do enough? I don't think they're going to be able to, though. They're going to get hit. They don't have enough attack speed, and Avid is going to be victorious with that final push. So, I mean, all in all, it was a rough start there for Altimative, as he just was kind of getting his economy pushed in over and over again. So maybe in this next game, he'll have an opportunity to rethink how he went around doing the protection and how he was setting up his base, and see if he can't bring it back and have a better shot here in the next game. But we will be right back with Game 2 between Avid and Altimative. All right, here we are for game 2 between Altimative and what was Avid, but now is Donkey, because we can just change our names at will around here, and it's absolutely incredible. Regardless, it is still the same guy playing. We'll just be calling him Donkey now for this. So, quick update. Donkey did win the previous game. He was able to use those Mutalisks to absolutely just pick apart the economy of Altimative. But we'll do a quick reintroduction of our players. So we have from Lexington, Altimative, or Ben Ward, 11th grader there, and his first appearance here. We've got from Kearney, we have Donkey, or Garrett Turman, and he is a 10th grader. This is also his first appearance in the state game. So, like most, here on Blackburn, we actually are going to have a little bit of a different setup than our usual, top left and bottom right, or top right, bottom left. We're actually going to have both players starting on the bottom side of the map. So, scouting is going to be extremely important. You see Donkey's already on that to try and figure out where his opponent has started. And so, you've got now your natural right off the front here. You do have 2 secondaries right after that, but then you do kind of have these hidden other expansions that you can go to, and it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Donkey can scout this out. I don't think you'll see that initially, but he'll probably be able to see the rest of this coming through. So he's going to know pretty much where he is. He'll see it now, moves himself a little bit closer to see exactly what Altimative is up to. So now we'll just see how this one's going to bust down, as both teams are now, kind of on a different area as far as the map is concerned, not having to run all the way across. They'll have some different, maybe some different play around that idea. Nexus going down as the second expansion, natural expansion, is done on the side of Donkey, and is about finishing up on the side of Altimative. So finishing that up. We'll see if he puts down a few more pylons this time to assist with his power distribution and making sure that he doesn't lose everything if he gets one of them taken out. That's what happened previously with those Mutalisks when they came through. And we'll see now that Donkey is going to send out, get a couple, gets more queens and start spreading, boosting these hatcheries to get everything going. And on the other side, we'll have Altimative working to get forward. Stargate is coming through. It is going to be Sky Toss this time from Altimative, which is something he ran previous in one of the previous ones. That won't be totally seen from Donkey, as he is not going to be sticking around long enough to have seen Sky Toss get set up. But we are going to have our first Stargate coming through. Second Stargate's about to finish. Photon cannons also getting in position. So he's got his first base all completely saturated, and he's going to be working on the natural. He's got gas in supply also coming in. You're going to see a Phoenix coming out. First thing here. See exactly what he's going to do with that. Probably going to end up harassing just some of these units that are all around. So we got a couple Zerglings coming in, and Zerglings moving out. It is 4 minutes. It is time. The gentleman's agreement is done. Let's see exactly how this goes down. Phoenix, however, are not a unit that can attack anything melee, and the Zerglings do come in. That's going to be a lot of probes going down, not to mention 10, 11 probes so early is absolutely ridiculous. And here they come into the back line. These photon cannons are going to try to do some work on them if they can, but it might not be quite enough, as that's actually really well done. He's going to try and use these probes to surround the photon cannon so that these Zerglings can't attack it. The Phoenix is here, but what are you going to do, Phoenix? You're just going to stare at it, basically. Gets everybody back on the line. He's going to try to use them to surround, but oh man, this is just absolutely a devastating hit to the economy of Altimative. That Zergling is just going to continue to attack down there on the bot side. We do have a fleet beacon in, by the way. That's going to be a pretty big deal. Warp Gate is also here. And that one Zergling is just going to continue to smack at the doors, seeing what's happening. Back here, we're going to see a couple more Zerglings coming out, and just a mass of them. He's going to send them all over to meet up with this. That's a Stalker who's about to go out there and meet his end. Phoenix is going to start flying around, trying to see what he can find, but there's just going to find that a lot of Zerglings are headed this direction, and there's nothing that can be done right now on the side of Altimative, because he just doesn't have anything. He is trying to get a carrier out. That would really help in this situation right now that he's finding himself in, but he has to wait for it to get built. So until then, these Zerglings are going to be doing a lot. Now the Zerglings are starting to see that maybe there's a priority, something they should hit here. And they're just going to slowly but surely try to chip away at this base, and so many probes are not on the mineral line right now that it's going to be rough, and this match may be somewhat figured out almost at this point, as, oh boy, coming through transforming, he's going to try and get himself some Banelings, and he does, but that's not going to take out quite as much as he thought. This carrier will definitely help with defense, but will it be enough? We are going to see some Corruptors going around here. They're going to try and fly in and cause a little bit more chaos. But hopefully this carrier is able to defend. We'll have to see if it can. It is not going to be enough, as these Corruptors are just too much. That is an entire carrier down. And here we are, as now the Corruptors are going to try and focus down some pylons here. There's nothing else. The photon cannons are in the back here. They can protect against this. But right now, it is tough. We're at 7 minutes, and the economy out of Altimative is just destroyed. They're trying to work on more Phoenix and a couple more, and another cruiser here. But here come the Hydralisks now. That is a Zealot that just came out, and he's going to get taken out. The Stalker is here, but the Stalker's more bait, trying to get them into these photon cannons. He needs to be careful. Oh, he lost that Phoenix. He doesn't want to lose this carrier also. He's trying to sit in here, make it bait. These photon cannons are doing some work, but unfortunately this carrier is simply going to go down. That is a lot. We've got more Mutalisks coming in, and they're trying to hit the economy. If they just take out this one pylon, they are working on it now, that's going to shut down everything on the backside of the base, and that should be the victory for Donkey, and it will be. Donkey from Kearney is going to be your third place winner, with Altimative getting fourth. Congratulations to both players.